Hey, you guys, it's Sarah Troske here with another episode of The Power Zone. So, today we are going to be talking about living on purpose. My guest here is my dad,
Hey!
Kevin Troske. So, this is a super special episode. He's going to go on to talk about his story about what it means to be living on purpose. He was 7 years sober yesterday, you guys. So October 27th, 2019, 7 years sober. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. It's such an inspiration. I honestly can tell you, I don't think that I would be sober if you weren't.
So cool.
So that's impact right there. So yesterday, also, there was a miracle in our family, and Easton was born. So my sister had her second boy. So Easton is in the world now, and so that just makes the day so much more special. And it was just I feel like meant to be.
Grandpa Pa again.
Yeah.
Another child, second boy. So excited, you guys. It's awesome. Yeah. Just another living life to share with.
Okay, so tell us what living on purpose means to you.
Well, to me, it means, kind of taking the eye out of selfish. 7 years ago, you guys, I was so selfish into myself, and it was just all about me. Like Sarah mentioned, now my family's growing, she's growing, I'm growing, and this dream would have never come true. In my eyes, I never thought it could be. So living on purpose is just kind of like being there for me. Be there, present, and know that we're here together to help each other, to serve each other, and to impact each other in a positive way. So on purpose, be there, not just, back 7 years ago, I was down. Luckily I was on where I realized and I was aware of the, drinking problem I had and the selfishness that took over my life. I was spending time trying to get ready to be joyful and enjoy life, by drinking and getting to a spot where I felt I could bring my spirit alive with the alcohol, the double thinking. Let's drink some more. Let's get drunk, and then maybe we can get to this spot of enjoying life on purpose. It's not the way it works for me. And as I go along, I would have never thought 7 years would be here the way it is now, with seeing, my family growing on purpose, Sarah becoming sober, being there together, experiencing these wonderful life, joyful moments, new family members, Easton and Aiden. And anyway, it's a beautiful thing. It's all based on love of yourself, and just love that, encompasses our life. And so we're here to help each other, I think. So on purpose, part of what that means to me is serve one another, be there for each other, because, hey, couldn't do it with any, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, you say that a lot. If you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. And I tell that to a lot of people too. If I can do it, you can do it. And so it's all about, our mindset too. So tell us about the mindset shift that you had and the awareness that was created from 7 years ago.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I think, my mindset now is just if I have an idea, if I get any kind of 7 years ago, I might have had something that would have bothered me emotionally, and I'd hold a resentment, or, I'd get angered, let anger take control possibly, or whatever, jealousy, resentment, and then that would steer my position in where I was at that day, that moment, that experience in life. I would be totally not living on purpose. I would be living off of the emotions, driving my own. Now, as I grow and become, able to function better as a human being, a better person, you got to take time and pause and take a look at how I'm thinking throughout these times and moments in our life that, when I come up to a difficult time or, a thing that might bother me, and it could be the littlest thing in the world, but it just like step back, get out of my own way. Let that take a moment, step aside, realize the grace that's been given to me up to this point, and I don't need to be in control of what's going on. I just need to live through that moment and live on purpose and try to, let the joy come back into my life, not trying to control necessarily every single thing in my life.
Right.
That is not what life's about.
Right.
In my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, that control piece is a huge struggle, and I'm still kind of like getting over that curve, and it's almost like those emotions, like you were talking about anger and jealousy, and those negative emotions are a big trigger, right? And so it's just when those come up, how do we kind of just let them go? It's a decision, right? And that kind of starts becoming the habit way of thinking after a while, right?
Yeah. I think it's a mindset that, you realize that you have to be open to letting life in and not letting it just fracture you. I mean, because you have to, you know, part of growing in life is, you can look back on life and see where you were and not necessarily have to have resentment over all that where you were, but look at it as a positive. You took an opportunity to take, and now where you are, you took that opportunity to grow from where you were. Don't live in the past. Live right now, but yet don't forget about where you came from necessarily, but try to use it as a catalyst to continue to grow and be involved with really, the spirit that brings you towards the better self you are. I mean, not living in the flesh so much, but walk with the spirit that takes you. The good thing in life, not the. There's a reason we come through certain ways and paths. I think on our life's journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot the question. But.
No, we're kind of just going on tangents here, and that's totally fine. Do you believe that everything is meant to be? Like everything happens for a reason?
No, not everything. I don't think everything happens necessarily for a reason. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen for different things, I think. But
okay.
I think you can see positive things in just about everything, though. I think that life we're in right now, the world we're in. Yeah, you can't really can't say this is happening for a reason. Not any reasoning we can see, but
sure.
Maybe there is a reason, and if there is, okay, I'm not going to let it. I mean,
control.
It is what it is. You only have so much of your life energy to use, so you can use your life energy. We can use our life energy together and try to change the world, but things happen, and they happen. Yeah, they could happen for a reason, but a reason we don't know about.
Sure. Interesting. Okay. So let's talk about 7 years ago, or even like before, kind of like your darkest times and like kind of hitting rock bottom and what that was like and how you were thinking and feeling and getting you to that awareness and those steps to actually decide to, okay, I need to do something about this and actually stop drinking, because even 7 years ago, that wasn't the first time you decided to stop drinking.
Right.
So kind of take us through that.
Well, I guess it was at a Husky game. Fell flat on my face. Uh, I remember the game. I mean, being there, but I mean, it was it was a time where I did a little bit of blackout drinking and um, realized, I guess, that what I was trying to do is control the situation. Of course, I was not drinking maybe as a heavy drinker every single day, but I take these moments to party too hardy, and yeah, I found myself, I guess, embarrassed, and I guess when that happened that particular day, um, kind of I think it knocked some sense into me, but you know I kind of had a spiritual awakening, I think, and then basically, my wife gave me an ultimatum. She'd been dealing with this, my drinking for 10 years, 12, 15 years, as an accelerated drinking, um, where I drank every day. And, I just decided to live on a plateau of not being there and present with my family. Um, I could see that everything that I did was selfishly driven on my own intent to uh, not thinking I was maybe somehow, I was sabotaging my wife, my family. When I say 15 years, quite honestly, went on for 18, most of Sarah's life. That as far as selfishly getting to a point of not being present and just always thinking about how to bring happiness into my body with alcohol. And anyways, it got to the point where this episode was just one of, which was maybe a little bit different than most episodes, but I was kind of a maintainable type drinker. But I could see that throughout the last couple of years, 3 4 years of this episode, it became some bad drinking, heavy, like too much drinking, a blackout possible situation. And I had tried to quit like several times before, where I would try to taper it off and control myself. Well, at that point that, I had this Husky game. I blackened my face a little bit, and then went to some AA meetings, which really uplifted me. My friends got me involved in it. I went through the book with them, and we worked together on a weekly get together and whatnot, and found some strength through others and sharing experiences. And so basically, I realized I was at that point because people that were around me, primarily my wife, could see, and she has some patience of a saint. So, but I could tell she had enough, and I guess I somehow took that word and heard it, because I made the decision in my mind. Probably even before I went to AA voluntarily, and I'm one of those lucky ones that never had to go through the courts. Um, So I went there and learned a lot. I mean, just kind of learning, sharing, and did that for 2 years. And but I do believe that program works and it helps people. You got to be around people and realize you're not the only one, and don't hold any resentments with yourself. And at the same time, um, try to have a plan and a purpose for your life, because there is hope. There's hope because you see people um, that aren't doing it anymore. You take a look at those people that don't drink and drug anymore. They're not, you know, chucking and running. They're not ripping and running anymore, and they're so much more successful. I can see it way more clear right now. 7 years back then, I've done so many different things, as far as just a lot of positive energy gone into my life. And it's not wasted energy on trying to get high. It's not wasted energy trying to think of when to get high, how to get me feeling better. I want to be around the people, around people that I want to help, and my family. And it's just I would have never even wanted to really enjoy that until I was drunk before. So uh, I guess that's the awareness doesn't happen. I mean, you get that idea of enlightenment at the beginning, but you have to grow on that, and you have to continue to want to grow on that and share with other people. And I think serving other people and serving people around me um, is the way to go. I think I don't get any more excitement out of helping others, and I think that's God put us here for a reason. Uh, I know that we have a comforter that's always there with us. He's got a plan and a purpose for my life, for your life too, and that's what I'm aware of.
That's awesome.
Way
That's
more,
beautiful.
yeah, way more
Um,
aware than I ever was.
yeah, it's different like levels.
Oh yeah, it's
Just
like
when
the
you
fourth
think you're
dimension, you
aware,
guys.
like it's like something else opens up and it's like, okay.
It's
Um,
like the fourth dimension, like a dream we could have never envisioned,
sure.
and
Yeah.
there's other dimensions out there that we don't know, and
Hmm.
it's really possible because um, yeah, because we just have so much life energy in us to use and try to use it as a fully functional human being. Um, is a better place to be. So
Hmm.
um, that's just where it is with me.
Yeah. So let's talk about forgiveness. So, what does forgiveness mean to you, and kind of how have you put that into your own um, growth and recovery?
Yeah, that's a good word. Um, well, yeah, I think I had to learn to forgive myself um, and the blame that and others, especially probably others first, because as anybody with a problem that can't get over it, you blame other people. You If they would have just, that's the reason. That's the reason I am who I am. Well, yeah, we all share experiences in life, and we are who we are, and people do around us do affect us who we are. But but you have to forgive any resentment you hold on to those people's um, lives that you think are contributing to your dysfunction, and you have to take accountability and forgive them and yourself. Otherwise, without forgiveness, love's not going to come into your heart. And really, that's the problem. You got to love yourself. You got to forgive others. You got to forgive yourself. Because if you can't start breaking away some of that shell, I just think it's too much to expect that we can place every piece in a dysfunctional purpose style of unforgiveness and expect any kind of resolve or um, recovery with any kind of growth in our life along the way
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
We know there's hope, but if you can't, yeah, if you can't forgive someone, the healing won't begin.
Right.
So forgiveness is hard,
Yeah.
and it's
On our own self too.
yeah, and it's right, it can be an everyday process. It's not something you just do once.
Right. Right.
It's an
So
ongoing.
tell us about self love. Like, when did you start practicing or getting into like self love, like taking care of yourself and like making yourself a priority? So transitioning from the selfish way into like kind of the self-love and selfless way.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I'm still working on that one. That's for sure. No, I've inadequacies huge part of my life. You know, trying to find significance in why I live. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm starting to find it. I'm almost 60. I'm 59 and a half. So still working on that. I know it's getting better every day. Um, but you know, I do know that I know how to love, and there's a reason I know how to love because God loved me first, and with His love, and I know how to love. I can share love with others. That's why we know how to love. So I mean, I think that we all want love. Um,
Yeah.
you know, that's what we want. We want significance in life and love to be accepted. Um, but yeah, life is not easy, and you can't base it on what other people make you feel like, and and you have to live your life knowing that you stand on, you know, the root and the vine that God has, you know, reached out for us and given us to experience it together. Because you know, he died on the cross for us for everything we ever did, so we don't need to have regrets, guilt, or anything for the past because that's gone. He just, you know, we want to please him from my standpoint, and that's coming from love. I forgot the question, but I think it was kind of where does love come from?
Well,
I mean, I
and
knew I
talking about self-love too, like loving
like
yourself.
like taking care of yourself. Yeah, right. Which becomes, you know, something you want to. I try to continue, and for sure because I want to love people around me. So I mean, you can't love your family around you if you can't love yourself.
Right. Like one
Um,
thing mom always told me growing up is you can't love anyone else until you love yourself first.
right.
And that just has always stuck with me. And I didn't get what she meant for so many years until probably the last like 2-3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge. Loving yourself, and yeah, it's like that's another one of those things that you continue
It's always
to
evolving.
try to you know, be present with that every day too. You know, it's not about touchy feely necessarily, but it's just it is a decision. Love's a decision, I think, and it's, you know, it's just it's it's a it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
Tough love. You got to be tough love on yourself. You got to be
Yeah.
soft love on others, and you just got to realize love's just it's kind of a gift.
Yeah. We
Seems like a
are
gift we're
love.
sharing, you know.
Yeah. So, what about being present? How do you ensure that you're kind of always or try to always be in the present moment? Because that's been hard for me, and I've been working on that for the past few years.
Oh yeah, I'm. That's another one of those things for me too. Just to work on every day. Um,
Is it just something you're just mindful about and like have to consciously remind yourself
oh
about?
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm just trying to be here, and but yeah, um, might have to edit that out.
No, we don't edit here.
No, yeah, but that's something that's huge for me. I think that being present. That's good that you brought. Thanks for reminding me on that because to try and just, you know, make contact with another human being and try to be receptive, um, and live life's cues through other people's experiences along with yours to share those experiences
Yeah,
was something I never picked up on 7 years ago,
yeah,
because I was too busy to even try to be there with one my busyness of double-minded thinking, trying to be uh, myself,
mm-hmm.
extinguishing self honoring selfishness. Um, so yeah, bringing it out to the present is all we have right now. So I don't want to spend all my time getting ready to be present. I just want to be present, and I know that I'm here for a purpose. And once again, I'll touch base on I'm here to serve, serve others, um, which is going to be growing and evolving as my life goes on uh, in other directions, other ways. But that's an unlimited focus to me.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Which helps me grow. If I do that, it actually brings a lot of happiness in to my life because I realize that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I believe it because it comes down to the core of my purpose, why I'm here. Yeah, and it's a cool thing. It sounds pretty boring, but I'm a pretty boring person, so I think I think boring is okay. Boring can be king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
my that's an opinion though of what boring is.
Everybody's
going to categorize or have their own definition of boring.
That's true. I mean, I just say that facetiously or sarcastically because I don't think it's boring. I think that my life's anything but boring.
There we go.
Yeah, I think it's full of excitement, really. But
I mean, there's a newborn baby that's waiting
just
for us to hold him.
It's like Christmas every day.
No, so Christmas is going to be fun this year.
It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of goals do you have, like, right now, like, personally, like, would you say? Like, what do you really want to accomplish in, like, the next year, in 2020?
Well, I'm going to get involved with the food bank, serving food bank, I think. I'm trying to reach out and do that. I want to serve my community some more and continue to grow with the fellowship of men's groups that I do. I want to plan for retirement, which isn't going to happen next year, but it's going to be a stepping stone. Little things take care of business along the way for the next 7 years or so. So take care of things there, and be there. I just want to be there, continue to work, be responsible, take care of myself. Which is easy now. I mean, 7 years ago wouldn't have been easy. Would have never thought I could be in this position 7 years from 7 years ago.
Okay.
His life kind of flows. I'm happy to share all this with everybody. And
I told him he's gonna get famous.
Good to meet y'all. I know I think that we can live on purpose. We can be who we were meant to be, and we can share that with others. And it's great to share with everybody because you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And then just kind of the last wrap-up question and thoughts. If you could go back in time 7 years ago, what would you tell yourself? Or also, like, somebody in your position 7 years ago, what would you tell them? If they were asking for help, and, like, what advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Stop and listen. Just stop. Be still. Just be. Just breathe. And count your blessings. Take a look a little bit where even though if you're rock bottom, are you breathing some air? Do you have a couple coins in your pocket? Do you have family?
Looking towards the gratitude.
Gratitude of life. You got to have gratitude. Gratitude that there's people that will help you. Gratitude that if you do hear that you heard it. Gratitude that you were able to hear it with your ears, your heart. Yeah, I think that you're not alone. I guess that's what I'd say.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I'm grateful that you're here. You'd be talking to me. We'd be talking together and sharing that moment because that's living life on purpose.
Yep, that's what we do.
It's not that we plan the whole thing. Just living on purpose. Be there.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Dad, for being on here with me.
Thanks.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
Take care.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.